The morning sun cast long shadows across the hills of New Hansong Colony. June stepped out of his small cabin and breathed in the cool air. His home sat far from the main settlement, just the way he liked it. Ghost padded out behind him. The massive gray wolf stood as tall as June's waist, with eyes that seemed to hold more than animal thought. The wolf sniffed the air, then looked at June. "I know," June said. "Another day of being left alone, if we're lucky." He walked to the edge of his land and looked down at the colony in the valley. Smoke rose from chimneys. People moved about like small dots. They were good people, but they asked too many questions. June had not come to New Hansong to make friends. 8 years ago, he had left Earth and its wars behind. He had come to forget what he had done, what he had been part of. Ghost nudged his hand. The wolf always knew when dark thoughts filled June's mind. "Let's check the traps," June said. They walked together through the woods. Ghost moved like a shadow, silent and watchful. June moved almost as quietly. His old habits had not died. The military had trained him too well. The first trap held a rabbit. June took it out and put it in his bag. "Good hunting today," he said to Ghost. The wolf did not need to hunt. June made sure Ghost ate well. But sometimes the wolf would vanish for days, answering a call only he could hear. As they headed back, June saw a figure climbing the path to his cabin. He frowned. "Looks like we have a visitor," he told Ghost. "Stay close." The wolf's ears perked up. He did not growl, which meant the visitor was someone he knew. It was Minji, the colony's security chief. She stood by his door, her hand resting on her sidearm. Not drawn, but ready. She always came ready. "June," she called when she saw him. "Weekly check-in. You don't need to climb all the way up here every week," June said. "I'm fine." Minji shrugged. "Colony rules. Everyone gets checked on, especially those who live alone." Her eyes moved to Ghost. "Well, mostly alone." Ghost stared back at her, unblinking. "That animal still gives me chills," Minji said. "No wolf should be that big or that smart." "He's just a wolf," June lied. It was easier than explaining. "Right," Minji said, clearly not believing him. "The council wants to know if you've reconsidered joining the harvest teams. We need every able body." "I hunt. I trap. I trade fair," June said. "That's my part." Minji sighed. "The colony works because we all work together, June. People talk, you know. They wonder about the man who lives alone with a wolf." "Let them talk," June said. "I'm not hurting anyone." "No, you're not," Minji agreed. "But you're not helping much either." She looked at him closely. "Sometimes I wonder what you're hiding from." June said nothing. "Anyway," Minji continued, "there's another reason I came up. Strange signals at the edge of the system. Taiyana Communications picked them up 3 nights in a row." "Space junk," June said, but he felt a chill. Ghost's ears had perked up at the mention of signals. "Maybe," Minji said. "Council says it's nothing to worry about." "But," she paused. "But?" June asked. "I don't know. Something feels wrong." She shook her head. "Just keep your eyes open, okay?" After she left, June sat on his porch with Ghost at his feet. The wolf seemed restless, watching the sky. "You feel it too, don't you?" June asked. Ghost whined softly. June reached down and touched the scar on his neck, hidden under his collar. The neural interface port was still there, dormant for years now. But not removed. Never removed. Some nights, when the moon was full, June still heard the whispers of the pack in his dreams. The ones they said were destroyed when Project Fenrir was shut down. Ghost looked up at him, yellow eyes knowing. "They told me you were the last one," June said quietly. "But that wasn't true, was it?" The wolf blinked slowly in answer. 3 days after Minji's visit, Ghost would not settle. The wolf paced the cabin, stopping to stare out windows and growl at the night sky. "What do you hear?" June asked, but he knew the wolf could not answer in words. A knock at the door made June reach for the knife he kept by his chair. Ghost's ears went flat, but he did not growl. June opened the door to find Tae-hyun, the colony's communications specialist. The man looked tired, with dark circles under his eyes. "Can I come in?" Tae-hyun asked, glancing nervously at Ghost. June stepped aside. "He won't hurt you." Tae-hyun entered but kept his distance from the wolf. "The council said I'm overreacting, but I think you'll understand." He placed a small device on the table. It showed a pattern of lights that blinked in a steady rhythm. "These signals have been getting stronger," Tae-hyun said. "They're not random. They're not from Earth or any human colony." June studied the pattern. "How long?" 7 days now. But the council says to focus on the harvest. They say it's probably just a solar flare or old satellite." Ghost moved to the table and sniffed at the device, his yellow eyes fixed on the blinking lights. "But you don't think so," Jun said. Tae-hyun shook his head. "I've studied space communications for 20 years. This is purposeful, directed at us." June felt a cold weight in his stomach. The military had trained him to see danger before others. This was danger. "Who else knows?" June asked. "Just Minji. She believes me. But the council won't listen to her either." Tae-hyun looked at Ghost, who had not taken his eyes off the device. "Your wolf seems interested." June nodded. "He's been restless for days. Animals sense things we can't," Tae-hyun said. "I came because Minji said you were military. Special forces, maybe." June did not answer. "I'm not asking for details," Tae-hyun said quickly. "But we need someone who understands threats. Someone who won't dismiss this." After Tae-hyun left, June sat in the dark, thinking. Ghost lay at his feet, still alert. "Time to prepare," June finally said. He moved the old rug in his bedroom and opened the hidden panel in the floor. The metal box inside was sealed with a handprint lock. It opened at his touch. Inside lay his past, a military-grade neural interface headset, weapons, communication devices that could reach farther than anything the colony had. Ghost watched as June lifted out the neural headset. The wolf's eyes seemed to glow in the dim light. "I promised never to use this again," June said quietly. The next morning, June hiked to the highest hill. Ghost ran ahead, scouting the path. From the top, June could see the entire colony and the mountains beyond. He took out a special device from his pack and pointed it at the sky. The screen showed what humans could not see: energy patterns moving through the upper atmosphere. Something was there, watching, waiting. As the sun set, Jun returned home and found Minji waiting. "Tae-hyun told me he visited you," she said. "Now he's been ordered to stop monitoring the signals." "Who gave that order?" Jun asked. "The council. They say he's causing panic." Minji looked worried. "Something's wrong, Jun. I've doubled the night watch, but it won't be enough," Jun finished. That night, Ghost howled for the first time in years. The sound echoed across the valley, making the colonists shiver in their beds. Jun sat on his porch, the neural headset in his hands. He had not used it since he left Earth and the military behind. Using it meant reconnecting to memories he wanted to forget. But as Ghost's howl faded, another sound took its place, a low hum that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere. June looked up. Through breaks in the clouds, he saw lights moving across the sky. Not stars, not satellites. "They're here," he whispered. Ghost stopped howling and looked at June. The wolf's eyes held a question. June placed the neural headset on his temples. "Yes," he said. "It's time to call the others." Dawn broke with a red sky over New Hanson. June stood on his porch, watching 3 large ships hover above the colony center. They were dark metal with no clear windows or doors, shaped like smooth arrowheads. The colony alarm blared across the valley. People ran from their homes, looking up in fear and wonder. Too late for running. Jun muttered to Ghost. The wolf growled low, his fur standing on end. Jun had spent the night preparing. The neural headset was ready. His old weapons were cleaned and loaded, but he knew they would not be enough against what was coming. Through his binoculars, Jun watched as the colony council members gathered in the square. A beam of light shot down from the largest ship, and a ramp formed in the light. The aliens walked down this light bridge like it was solid ground. They were tall, at least 7 feet, with gray-blue skin that seemed to shimmer. Their bodies were thin but strong-looking, with 4 arms instead of 2. Their faces had no nose, just breathing slits, and their eyes were large and completely black. "Void Striders," Jun whispered. Ghost tilted his head, as if asking a question. "Yes, I've seen them before," Jun said. "In a classified briefing. They were spotted at the edges of our space, but Command said they weren't hostile." Through the binoculars, Jun watched the colony leader step forward to greet the aliens. Words were exchanged, but even from this distance, Jun could see the tension. Then everything happened very fast. One of the aliens raised a hand device. The colony leader fell to the ground. People screamed. The colony security team drew weapons, but beams of light from the ships cut them down before they could fire. No, Jun lowered his binoculars. He had seen this before on other worlds. First contact, then quick betrayal. Minji was down there. So was Taehyun. Good people who had no idea what they were facing. Smaller ships now dropped from the larger ones. They moved across the colony, firing nets of energy that wrapped around running colonists. The nets pulled tight, lifting people into the air and back to the ships. They were taking prisoners. Jun's comm unit crackled. "Anyone on this channel, this is Security Chief Minji. The visitors are hostile. Repeat, the visitors are hostile. Seek shelter in the mines. We air." Her voice cut off. Ghost howled, a sound of rage and challenge. Jun placed his hand on the wolf's head. "Not yet, friend. We can't fight them directly. There are too many." He turned and went inside. At his desk, he activated the old military communication device. It hummed to life, connecting to satellites that most colonists didn't know existed. Jun typed in a code he had memorized years ago. A code he had promised never to use. The screen flashed green. Mis ag oricivt. Protocol FENRR. Activated. 3 hours later, Jun watched through his binoculars as the aliens set up camps around the colony. They moved with purpose, setting up strange equipment. Some colonists were being taken into the large ships. Others were being held in energy cages on the ground. Jun's military comm beeped. A message appeared. "Orbital Package DESC ETA. 22 minutes. It's happening," Jun told Ghost. "The package is coming." They left the cabin and headed into the deep forest behind his property. Ghost led the way, knowing exactly where to go even though they had never gone this far before. In a small clearing, Jun stopped and looked up at the night sky. 6 streaks of light cut through the darkness, heading right toward them. The pods crashed through the trees, slowing just before impact. They landed in a perfect circle around Jun and Ghost, embedding themselves in the soft earth. Steam hissed from the first pod as it opened. Inside, yellow eyes glowed in the darkness. A black wolf, larger even than Ghost, rose from its sleeping chamber. 5 more pods opened. 5 more massive wolves emerged. The pack had arrived. Ghost moved forward, touching noses with each newcomer. They recognized him. They remembered. Jun activated his neural headset. It clicked as it connected to the implant in his neck, and suddenly he could feel them all. 6 new minds joining with his and Ghost's. A pack again, ready to hunt. "The colony needs us," Jun said aloud, though he didn't need to speak for them to understand. "We are their only hope." The wolves howled as one. a sound that made the alien invaders pause and look toward the dark forest with the first flicker of fear. Dawn light filtered through the trees as June studied each wolf. They were different from normal wolves in many ways. Bigger, stronger, and far smarter. Each had been made for a special purpose. Storm, the silver wolf, was the tactician. His eyes missed nothing, always planning. Fang was smaller but fastest, with dark gray fur that seemed to vanish in shadows. Titan stood tallest, a mountain of muscle and brown fur, built to break through any defense. Shadow was nearly black, designed for night operations and scouting. Ember, with her reddish-brown coat, could track any scent across any terrain. Luna, silver-white like moonlight, was the pack coordinator, helping the others work as one. And Ghost, his loyal companion for years, was the alpha, the leader who would bring them all together. June knelt beside the metal case that had landed with the pods. Inside were 7 neural collars, each tuned to one wolf. "These will help us connect better," June told the pack. Through the headset, he felt their understanding. They remembered the collars from before. One by one, June placed the collars on each wolf. When activated, the collars glowed with soft blue light. The neural link between June and the wolves grew stronger. He could now see through their eyes if he focused. "We need to know what we're facing," June said. "Shadow, Fang, I need you to scout the colony edge." The 2 wolves moved off instantly, silent as ghosts. Through his link, June could feel glimpses of what they saw. Alien guards with energy weapons. Colonists in cages, strange machines being built. "They're not just taking prisoners," June told the remaining wolves. "They're setting up for something bigger." Ghost nudged June's hand, sending images through their link. Memories of training. The pack taking down targets much larger than themselves, working together to overcome impossible odds. "Yes," June agreed, "but we need a plan first." A sound in the brush made all wolves turn at once. June reached for his weapon. Minji stepped into the clearing, hands raised. Her uniform was torn and dirty. Blood stained one sleeve. "I followed your tracks," she said, then stopped when she saw all the wolves. Her eyes widened. "What is this?" "The help we need," June said. Minji took a step back as Luna moved toward her, sniffing. "These aren't normal wolves." "No," June touched the neural headset. "They're part of Project Fenrir, a military program to create the perfect combat animals, able to understand complex commands, work together, think almost like humans. And the headset, it links me to them. I can see what they see, feel what they feel, direct them without words." Minji looked at each wolf, then back at June. "You were their handler." "Yes, until the project was shut down. They said the wolves were too dangerous, too hard to control. Orders came to put them down." June's face hardened at the memory. "I couldn't do it. I stole Ghost and ran. The others were placed in cryo-sleep, hidden in orbit." Shadow and Fang returned, pressing close to June. Their minds shared what they had seen. "The aliens have taken over the colony center," June told Minji. "They've captured at least 50 people. More are hiding in the mines, but the aliens are searching for them." "How do you know that?" Minji asked. "The wolves just told me." June pointed to his headset. "They saw everything." Minji shook her head in wonder. "Can they help us fight?" "That's what they were made for." June felt the wolves' eagerness through the link. They wanted to hunt, to protect. "But I need to know more about these aliens first," June continued. "Their weaknesses, their plans." "Taehyun is still free," Minji said. "He's hiding in the communications building with some others. He might have information." June nodded. "Then that's where we'll go first. But not all of us." He looked at the pack. "Storm, Shadow, you're with me. The rest stay here with Minji." Ghost growled, not wanting to be left behind. "I need you to protect her," June told Ghost. "She's important." The big wolf didn't like it, but he moved to Minji's side. "What are you going to do?" Minji asked. June checked his weapon. "Get information. Then we start taking back what's ours." Through the neural link, all 7 wolves howled in agreement, though only Storm and Shadow made sound. The others' howls echoed only in June's mind. The hunt had begun. The sun was setting as June, Storm, and Shadow crept through the forest toward the colony. Through the neural link, June felt the other wolves growing restless back at the clearing with Minji. "Stay focused," June whispered, speaking to all of them despite the distance. The neural bond was getting stronger, but it also caused pain. June's head throbbed. It had been years since he had connected with more than just Ghost. 7 minds linked to his was a heavy burden. Shadow moved ahead, his dark fur blending with the growing darkness. Storm stayed at June's side, alert and ready. Through Shadow's eyes, June saw the communications building. 2 alien guards stood outside. Their 4 arms held strange weapons that glowed with blue energy. "We need to get past them without raising an alarm," June told Storm. The Silver Wolf's mind showed June a plan. Simple but effective. "Good idea," June agreed. Shadow circled wide around the building. He found a spot behind it and let out a low howl. The aliens turned toward the sound, raising their weapons. Storm dashed forward, staying low to the ground. He reached the side of the building unseen. 1 alien moved to check the howl. The second stayed at the door. Storm grabbed a rock in his powerful jaws and threw it far to the left. It crashed through some bushes. The second alien turned, pointing its weapon at the new sound. June sprinted from his hiding place, moving silently as he'd been taught in military training. He reached the building door and slipped inside while both aliens were distracted. Inside, June found Taeyun and 3 other colonists hiding among the equipment. They looked scared but determined. "June," Taeyun whispered, "how did you get past the guards?" "I had help," June said. As if on cue, Storm and Shadow slipped in through an open window. The colonists backed away from the massive wolves. "Don't be afraid," June said. "They're with me." Taehyun stared at the wolves, then at the neural headset June wore. "What is that device? And these aren't normal wolves." "No time to explain everything," June said. "What have you learned about the aliens?" "They call themselves the Void Striders," Taehyun said. "I've been monitoring their communications. They're collectors. They travel from world to world taking resources and specimens." "Specimens?" June asked. "People, animals, plants, anything they find interesting." Taehyun looked sick. "The colonists they took are being studied. Some are already gone." June felt anger rise in him. The wolves sensed it through the link. Back in the clearing, Ghost howled. The others joined in. The sound of howling wolves echoed across the colony. The aliens outside looked around nervously. "They have a weakness," said a woman sitting near the communications equipment. "I'm Lin, colony scientist. I saw them react badly to high-pitched sounds, and they hate water. It burns their skin." June nodded. "Good to know." "What's your plan?" Taehyun asked. "There are hundreds of them, and only a few of us." June smiled. "Not as few as you think." Through the neural link, June called to the waiting wolves. Ghost, Luna, Titan, Ember, and Fang slipped away from Minji, moving through the forest toward the colony. "The pack is coming," June told Taehyun. "But I need to strengthen our bond first." June sat down, closing his eyes. The neural headset glowed brighter. Storm and Shadow lay down beside him, their eyes also closing. In his mind, June reached out to all 7 wolves. Their minds were different from human minds. Wild, free, driven by instinct rather than words. Ghost's mind was familiar, easy to connect with after years together. The others were harder. They remembered June, but the trust had faded during their long sleep. June showed them memories of their training. the bond they once had, the trust they had built. One by one, the wolves accepted him again. Their minds aligned with his, not controlled, but joined, partners rather than tools. When June opened his eyes, Taehyun was staring at him. "Your nose is bleeding," Taehyun said. June wiped the blood away. "The neural link is difficult, but it's working." "What exactly is this link?" Lin asked. "I can see through their eyes," June said. "Feel what they feel. And they understand my thoughts. We become one mind with many bodies." Outside, an alarm sounded. The aliens had found something. June stood up. "Time to move. The pack is almost here." Through the wolves' eyes, June saw the aliens gathering. They had found Minji's trail. "Now," June said, "we show them what wolves can do." Night fell completely over the colony. The aliens had set up bright lights around their camp, creating pools of harsh light amid the darkness. June watched from the edge of the forest. All 7 wolves were with him now, hidden among the trees. Through the neural link, he shared his plan with them. There, June pointed to a small building near the colony edge. "That's where they're keeping some of our people." Ghost's mind showed understanding. The big wolf looked at the others, and June felt the pack organize itself without words. They knew what to do. "Remember," June said, "we need to free the prisoners and get out. No long fights yet." The aliens had 4 guards around the building. 2 more patrolled nearby. All carried energy weapons. Fang went first, using his speed and stealth. The dark gray wolf moved from shadow to shadow, getting closer to the guards. Storm and Shadow circled wide, approaching from the other side. Luna stayed with June, her silver-white fur nearly glowing in the moonlight. She was the pack coordinator, helping June maintain the neural link with all the wolves at once. Titan and Ember waited, ready to charge when needed. Ghost watched it all, the alpha making sure each wolf followed the plan. "Now," June whispered. Fang picked up a rock and threw it far from the building. The sound made 2 guards turn and move to check. At the same moment, Storm and Shadow attacked the other 2 guards from behind. They struck silently, going for the aliens' breathing slits. The guards fell without making the sound. The patrolling guards noticed nothing, continuing their rounds. "Good," June said through the link. "Titan, Ember, your turn." The 2 wolves rushed forward. Titan, massive and powerful, crashed into one patrol guard. His jaws closed around the alien's throat. Ember took down the second patrol guard just as silently. 6 guards down, June told Luna. "Time for us to move." June ran to the building, Luna at his side. Ghost, Storm, and Shadow stood guard while June tried the door. It was locked with some alien device. "Titan," June called. The big brown wolf came over. With one powerful push, he broke the lock. Inside, June found 10 colonists in cells made of energy fields. Among them was a woman in a white coat. "Dr. Hyjin," June said, recognizing the colony's head doctor. "Stand back from the field." June took out his knife and threw it at the control panel on the wall. The panel sparked, and all the energy fields shut down. The colonists stepped out, looking shocked but grateful. "June." Dr. Hyjin stared at him and the wolves. "What is this?" "Your rescue," June said. "We need to move fast." Through Ghost's eyes, June suddenly saw movement outside. More alien guards were coming. "Too late," June said. "Everyone stay behind me." All 7 wolves formed a line in front of the colonists, their hackles raised, teeth bared. 4 aliens entered the building. They stopped when they saw the wolves. One alien raised its weapon. Before it could fire, Fang leaped forward, faster than the eye could follow. His teeth sank into the alien's arm. The weapon fell. The other aliens fired, but the wolves were already moving. Storm and Shadow dodged the energy blasts. Ghost and Titan charged forward together. The fight was fast and brutal. The wolves moved like they had trained together for years. In a way, they had their minds linked through June. When it was over, all 4 aliens lay dead on the floor. "We need to get out of here," June told the colonists. "Follow me." As they left the building, an alarm sounded across the colony. More aliens would be coming soon. "This way," June said, leading them toward the forest. Dr. Hygen ran beside him. "They were studying us," she said, "taking samples, testing our limits." "Did you learn anything about them?" June asked. "Yes, their skin produces a toxin. That's why water hurts them. It washes away the protective layer." She looked at the wolves. "How are you controlling them?" June touched his headset. "I'm not controlling them. We're working together." Through the neural link, June felt Ghost's pride at their first victory. But he also felt the wolf's warning. This was just the beginning. The real war had just started. 3 days passed since the first rescue. June and his wolves had set up a base in a cave deep in the mountains. More than 30 colonists were now safe there, including Ninji, Taehyun, and Dr. Hygen. "The aliens are getting angry," Minji said during their morning meeting. "They've doubled their guards." June nodded. In the past 2 days, his pack had hit the aliens 4 more times. Each attack was quick and deadly. "Good," June said. "Angry enemies make mistakes." Dr. Hygen looked worried. "But they've brought in something new. Some kind of hunter creatures. I saw them when I was captured." June felt Ghost's concern through their neural link. The big wolf had been scouting the colony that morning and had seen these hunters. They were not like the Void Striders. They were lower to the ground, with 6 legs and long snouts full of teeth. "I've seen them through Ghost's eyes," June said. "They're trackers. They can follow scent better than normal animals." "Can your wolves handle them?" Taehyun asked. June touched his neural headset. It rarely came off now. The connection with the pack was getting stronger each day, but it also caused more pain. His head constantly hurt, and sometimes he saw through wolf eyes even when he didn't want to. "Yes," June said, "but we need to be smart about it." June walked outside the cave to where the wolves were resting. Through their link, he showed them images of the new alien hunters. Each wolf absorbed the information in their own way. Storm analyzed how the hunters moved. Fang thought about how to stay hidden from them. Titan considered how to fight them. Shadow planned how to avoid them. Ember studied their scent patterns. Luna focused on how the pack should work together against them. Ghost, always the leader, combined all these thoughts into a plan. "Water," Ghost seemed to say through the link. It wasn't really words, more like feelings and images. "Yes," Jim agreed. "We use what hurts them." That night, June and the pack moved toward the colony's water storage tanks. These large tanks held the colony's drinking water, collected from the mountain streams. 4 aliens guarded the tanks. 2 of the new hunter creatures prowled nearby. "Luna, Storm, with me," June whispered. "The rest, get ready." Luna and Storm followed June as he circled around behind the tanks. There, hidden pipes carried water to different parts of the colony. June took out his knife and began cutting into one of the pipes. Water sprayed out. "Ghost now," June called through the link. From the forest edge, Ghost let out a howl. The aliens and hunter creatures turned toward the sound. Titan and Ember burst from hiding on the opposite side. The aliens fired their weapons, missing as the wolves dodged with incredible speed. The hunter creatures charged at Titan and Ember. They were fast, but Fang was faster. The gray wolf appeared from nowhere, attacking one hunter from behind. While the battle raged, Shadow slipped past everyone. The black wolf reached the main tank control and pulled the lever with his teeth. Water gushed from all the tanks, flooding the area. The aliens screamed as the water touched their skin. It seemed to burn them, just as Dr. Hygen had said. The hunter creatures weren't hurt by the water, but they couldn't track scent in the flood. They became confused. running in circles. June watched from his position as his wolves took down the distracted aliens one by one. The wolves worked perfectly together, each one playing their role. Back at the cave, Taehyun had set up the colony's communication equipment. He sent a message to other settlements. New Hanson fights back. The wolves are hunting. Reports came in from other colonies. The Void Striders were everywhere, taking people and resources. But now, hope spread. If one colony could fight back, others could too. That night, as the wolves rested after their victory, Jun felt something strange through their link. A seventh sense that wasn't quite human or wolf. The bond between them was becoming something new, something powerful. But it came with a cost. As Jun finally fell asleep, blood trickled from his nose and ears. The neural connection was becoming too strong for his human brain to handle. Ghost whined softly, feeling Jun's pain as his own. A week of battles had weakened the aliens. Jun and his pack had destroyed their equipment, freed more prisoners, and shown the colonists how to fight back. But as Jun stood on a hill overlooking the colony, he saw something that made his heart sink. 3 new alien ships had arrived, much larger than the first ones. Reinforcements, he told Ghost, who stood beside him. Through their neural link, all the wolves felt Jun's worry. The pack had gathered around him, waiting for his plan. Back at the cave, Minji studied the crude map they had drawn of the colony. "We can't beat that many," she said when Jun told her about the new ships. "There must be hundreds more aliens now." "Not with direct attacks," Jun agreed. "We need to strike at their heart." Taehyun looked up from his communication equipment. "Their main ship, the one that controls all others." "Yes," Jun said. "Cut off the head and the body falls." Dr. Hyjin shook her head. "How?" "That ship is heavily guarded, and it's in the center of their camp." Jun looked at the wolves. Through their connection, he felt their determination, their willingness to fight, no matter the odds. "We'll create a diversion," he said. "Minji, can you lead the colonists in an attack from the east side?" Minji nodded. "The miners have made weapons. We can fight." "Taehyun, I need you to use the colony speakers. Create sounds at the highest pitch you can. It will hurt the aliens." "I can do that," Taehyun said. "And Dr. Hyjin, we need water weapons, things that spray or shoot water." The doctor thought for a moment. "The fire equipment. We can fill the tanks with water instead of fire suppressant." "Good," Jun said. "While you all attack from different sides, the pack and I will go for the main ship." That night, as the colonists prepared, Jun sat alone with his wolves. The neural connection was now so strong that he barely needed the headset, but the strain was taking its toll. His nose bled often. His eyes sometimes saw things from 7 different views at once. His thoughts were becoming part wolf. Ghost laid his head on Jun's lap, concerned. "I'll be fine," Jun told him, though he wasn't sure if that was true. Luna came over, her silver-white fur glowing in the moonlight. She nudged the neural headset, then looked at Jun. Through their link, he understood. The pack wanted him to adjust the settings, to let more of their minds flow into his, to become more like them. "It could kill me," Jun said. Storm's thoughts came next. The tactical wolf showed Jun images of the alien ship, of its guards and weapons. Without a stronger link, they might all die anyway. "You're right," Jun said. He reached up and turned a small dial on the headset. Pain shot through his head. But then something new happened. The world changed. Jun could smell everything the wolves could smell, hear what they heard. His senses expanded beyond human limits. And the wolves gained more of his thoughts, his strategy, his human understanding. They truly became one mind with 8 bodies. Dawn came. The colonists moved into position. Everyone ready? Jun asked through a radio. "East side ready," Minji answered. "Speakers ready," Taehyun said. "Water weapons ready," Dr. Hyjin confirmed. Jun looked at his pack. No words were needed now. They were one. "Begin," Joan said. The colony speakers blasted high-pitched sounds. The aliens looked up in pain. The colonists attacked from the east, firing weapons and spraying water. From the west, Jun and his wolves moved in. They ran faster than any human could, their minds linked perfectly. Guards turned to stop them, but the wolves were too quick, too coordinated. Each wolf knew exactly what the others would do. They'd reached the main ship's ramp. More guards appeared. One fired, hitting Luna in the side. Pain tore through Jun's body as if he had been shot himself. Luna fell, but kept moving. "We're almost there," Jun told the pack. "One final push." They charged up the ramp, into the heart of the alien command. Into the final battle. Inside the alien ship, Jun and his wolves moved as one. The narrow halls echoed with growls and alien screams. Storm led the way, using his tactical mind to find the quickest path forward. Luna limped behind, wounded but determined. Through their link, Jun felt her pain, but also her fierce will to keep fighting. They reached a large round room. Control panels blinked with strange lights. In the center stood an alien different from the others, taller, with markings on its blue-gray skin. "The commander," Jun whispered. The alien commander looked at them. Its black eyes showed no fear, only cold interest. "The human who runs with beasts," the commander said in broken human speech. "We have seen your kind before." Jun was surprised the alien could speak his language. Ghost growled, stepping forward. "You will leave this colony," Jun said. "Leave this system. Never return." The commander made a sound like harsh laughter. "Your kind always fights, always loses. But you," it pointed at Jun and the wolves. "You are different. You join with animals. This is why we came." "What do you mean?" Jun asked. "We study connections. Between species. Between minds." The commander touched a panel. Images appeared on the wall. Other worlds. Other beings joined with animals like Jun with his wolves. "You fear us," Jun realized. "You fear what we might become." The commander hissed. "Beasts should be beasts. Humans should be humans. Together, you become too strong." Outside, the battle rage. Through the link, Jun felt the colonists pushing forward. Minji led them bravely. Tahian's sound weapons were working. Dr. Hyjin's water sprayers burned the alien skin. But time was running out. The neural link was taking too much from Jun. Blood ran from his eyes now, not just his nose. His mind was splitting between 8 bodies. "Ghost," Jun said through the link. "It's time." The big wolf stepped forward. The other wolves formed a circle. The alien commander backed away, sensing danger. It touched a control panel, calling for guards. "Too late," Jun said. He twisted the dial on his neural headset to its maximum setting. Pain exploded through his head, but then something amazing happened. The barrier between Jun and the wolves fell completely. They became truly one, not human, not wolf. Something new. Through 8 sets of eyes, they saw everything. Through 8 bodies, they moved with perfect unity. The commander fired a weapon. The blast passed through empty air as all wolves moved at once, faster than the eye could follow. Ghost leaped first, jaws closing on the commander's upper right arm. Titan hit next, taking the lower arms. Storm and Shadow attacked from behind. Fang went for the legs. Ember and Luna circled, cutting off escape. Jun moved forward, no longer just human. In his mind, he was part of the pack now. "You were right to fear us," Jun told the dying commander, "but wrong to attack us." Through the neural link, Jun sent a command to the ship's controls, knowledge flowing from the commander's mind to his. The self-destruct sequence activated. "We need to go," Jun told the pack. Now. They ran from the ship, moving as one perfect unit. Outside, the colonists were winning their battle. The aliens, seeing their commander's ship begin to glow with energy, started to retreat. Back to the forest, June shouted to everyone, "Run!" The explosion lit up the night like a new sun. The main ship dissolved in blue fire. The smaller ships lost power and fell to the ground. The alien threat was over. Days later, as the colony began to rebuild, Jim sat on the porch of his cabin. The neural headset was gone now, but the connection remained, weaker but permanent. Ghost lay at his feet. The other wolves had made their own dens nearby, but they remained one pack. "They'll come back someday," Minji said, sitting beside him. "Other aliens, other threats. And we'll be ready," Jim said. That night, Ghost raised his head and howled at the stars. The sound echoed across the valley, and somewhere in the darkness, other wolves answered, wolves that had never been part of Project Fenrir, normal wolves from the forests of New Hansong. They had heard the whispers too. The connection was spreading. June smiled. The pack was growing, and the stars would never be the same.